Take the floor.
Thank you, Prithvi. I'll probably share my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Amit.
Yeah. So, hi everyone, I'm Amit Kumar Das, and I'll be giving a short demo on the new changes that we have added for the workflow creation and visualization with the new Beta 3 and Beta 4 update. So here you can see we have the portal running. I've already set it up by logging and creating a new project. So I've already ran a few experiments here. So currently, I'll just go through how we can create some new workflows. So we have a button here to schedule a workflow. So I'll just click on that, and we'll be created with this schedule a new kiosk workflow page. And you can see like we have few steps here, like choosing an agent, then choose a workflow, then the workflow settings, then tune workflow, then we can select the reliability score. We can try the scheduling. We can schedule it now, or we can schedule it for later use, and then we can verify and commit the changes. So in this particular page, you can see all the agents that are present here. So right now I have the default self agent. So I can like select and proceed here. So before that, I just wanted to show like how we can connect few external agents as well. So we can see we have the self agent here, which is currently in active state. To connect to some external agent, what I can do, I can use the Litmus CTL. It's a binary that is used to connect to some external agents on other clusters. So I'll go back and try to schedule a workflow. Yeah. So with this new feature, we can follow some steps to create the workflows. So currently we can see four options here, like create a new workflow from one of the predefined chaos experiments. So these predefined experiments consist of some predefined workflows that have some other experiments as well. So like we have few of them here, like the shop application, like the cube proxy application, and the potato head kiosk application. Similarly, we can create a new workflow by cloning some existing workflows that are already present here. So I have one of them here. And we also have an option to create an experiment from the MyHub. So we can select the different MyHubs that are present. So like currently I have the kiosk hub over here. And we can also import our workflow by uploading the YAML. We can drag and drop the YAML file here, or we can select it from the device itself. So I just wanted to go ahead and show the MyHub functionality as well that Karthik was talking about. So in this kiosk hub section, we can see one of the default hub present, which is pretty similar to the public hub that we have available over here. It has all the experiments. Similarly, if I go here in the portal, we can see all the experiments embedded over here as well. You can click on any of them and we can get the details over here. So if you want to connect some other hubs, you can just clone our kiosk charts repo and connect it over here with all of your changes. So I'll go back to scheduler workflow. I'll select the agent. I'll choose a predefined workflow for the time being. Yeah. I'll go with the kube proxy kiosk experiment. And in this screen, I can change the workflow name or the description. And in this screen, I'll be able to see all the experiments which are present in the workflow. I can see like the kube proxy node CPU hog, similarly kube proxy pod memory hog, pod CPU hog, node memory hog, and the pod delete experiment. So with this new functionality, what I can do, I can click on the experiment name, and I'll be able to select the target application where I want to inject the chaos. So we have also added the Kubernetes object functionality where when you want to select the app namespace, you can also view all the namespaces which are available to perform the operation. Like I can see I have the default, the kube node lease, the kube public, kube system, and Litmus namespace available in my cluster. So let me select the Litmus. And now I can also get the labels that are present according to the app kind. So I can select the deployments. So what will it do? It will select all the deployments which are present in the Litmus and show all the labels over here, which I can select to target to inject the chaos. So like if I select the stateful set, I have the app equals to Mongo label present in my stateful set in the particular Litmus namespace only. So for the experiment, I will select the kube system. I'll select the deployment. I'll go with the KTS app Cube DNS. And we have the job cleanup policy here. Like we have two options like delete or retain. With the delete, you get the resources get deleted once the experiments have been completed. And with the retain, we can keep all the resources available even after the completion of the experiment. So I'll click on the next button, and I will have an option to add the probes. So like we have four kinds of probes, the HTTP probe, the CMD probe, the KTS probe, and the PROM probe. And we can provide some various options here for the probes to work. So for the timing, I'll just go ahead with this. I'll finish off, and I can make some changes over here in the other experiments as well. So we can tune it according to our needs. We can target some of the applications which are present in the uh, cluster according to our needs. So I'll just click next. And in this screen, we can see some points assigned to each of the experiment. So these points are actually weights which we can assign to the experiment, which are required for the calculation of the resiliency score. So for the default purpose, I'll just leave it with 10 points. So now I'll click on next, and I can see two options here like schedule now and the recurring schedule. So recurring schedule, we have several options like we can recur a schedule to work in every hour, to work every day on a particular time, or to work on every week on a particular day or at a particular time. Similarly, on every month on a particular day or a particular time. So for the time purpose, I'll just schedule it now, and I'll click next. So in this verify and commit page, I can see all the final details of my workflow, like the workflow name and the cluster I'm running on. So I've shown it the first step that I'm running it on the self agent, and we have the workflow description over here, and I'm scheduling it currently. So we have the schedule now option here, and all the points that I've assigned to my workflow. So by default, I've assigned 10 points to all my workflow, so we can like verify all the changes here, and I can view the YAML to finalize all my changes. So I had 5 experiments in this template. So yeah, I'll go ahead and schedule. So now we can see a modal coming up like a new chaos workflow has been successfully created. Now we'll go back to visualize the workflow that we scheduled just now. So in this chaos workflow browse workflow table, we can visualize all the workflows that are present in the project. So I can select one of the workflow. So this is a real-time Argo graph where we can see the state of our workflow. So like we just scheduled it now. So it's proceeding with the install chaos experiments. So for the time being, I'll just show one of the workflow that I already scheduled, which is pretty similar to the one that I scheduled now. So we can see it's the kube proxy kiosk, and it has all the experiments which are present. So this is the state of the graph after the complete execution of the workflow. So we can see all the steps over here, like this is the kube proxy, this is the install kiosk experiment steps. These are all the experiments that are present, the pod memory hog, the node CPU hog, similarly node memory hog, pod CPU hog, and the last pod delete. And finally we do the revert chaos operation. So if I want to know some more details about individual nodes, what I can do, I can click one of them, and we can see a, a new frame coming up with all the details. We have the logs over here, and we have the chaos result over here. So similarly, if I want to check the logs and chaos result of like pod delete, I can click the node, and we can see the details over here. And we can also see the application detail where we have targeted the kiosk to work. We have the kube system. The app label is KTS app kube proxy, and it's of a daemon set. So this was all about the graph view. Now I can shift to the table view. Table view also gives some valuable information about the kiosk workflow. So in this, we can see the resiliency score that was generated, and we have the start time, end time, and the target where the workflow was running, and the workflow namespace. So we can see like all the status of individual nodes, individual experiments, and we can see like how much duration it took to complete the workflow. And so let me show the logs and the results. So I can click any of the button over here to view the logs and results. So here we can see the logs of like pod CPU hog and the kiosk result. So since it has completed, we can like also verify that the phase was completed and the verdict is passed, and we have the probe success percentage as 100. Similarly, I can view the logs and results of other experiments as well. So let me select the Node CPU Hog one. So I can see the logs over here and the kiosk results as well. So we can see it has also completed and passed. Similarly, we can see like in the kiosk, we actually delete the used kiosk engines. So we can see like the kiosk engines have been deleted of all the experiments. Similarly, we can view the logs and the results of the for delete experiment as well. So these were the changes that we have added with the uh, beta 3 and beta 4 update. And we have also made some changes in this browse workflow table. Earlier, the resiliency scores were not available and some of the valuable informations were not available. So with this update, we have also added the overall resiliency score, which is also calculated. And we can also see the number of past experiment and the total experiment. For example, I'll just show this experiment. So in this, we can see like most of the nodes were completed except one, this node CPU hog. So we can see that it has failed. So accordingly, we have calculated the resiliency score as 80%. And we can also see the experiments passed. Like there are total of 5 experiments and 4 of them have passed and one of them has failed. So we can also get this detail in this table. And we can here also check the number of experiments that we scheduled. So we had the 5 experiments and the number of weights that we have provided. Similarly, we have made some changes in the schedules table. We can view all the experiments that were present, and we can also view the schedule time, and it gives some valuable information like the regularity. If it's a cron workflow, we can also view the next run time. I hope it had one. Okay, so like I haven't scheduled any cron workflow. So yeah, and we can also like delete or edit some schedules. And so that's pretty much it. And I also wanted to show one of the additional feature that we have added, like creating a new workflow by cloning an existing workflow. So what a user can do, like if he wants to make some changes in the already ran workflow, he can just click over here and we have an option to save the template. So what I can do, I can make some changes in my template. Like if I want to make the total course duration as 80, so I can just edit it the node CPU core as 2. So I'll just save this template demo, and I can give a description. So I can make some changes over here and save it. And these changes should be available when I schedule a workflow. So I can go back to the schedule workflow, and I can see that I have 2 workflows available now. The test one was already there, and I just saved the demo workflow now. And I will just select this one, and I'll make sure that all the changes that I've applied are available or not. So I'll click next, and I can view the YAML over here. And I can see that I've made the changes here. Like earlier, the node CPU cores were 1, but now it's 2, and similarly, the total chaos duration is also changed. So like we have added the functionality by which the user can like make some changes in the YAML and directly schedule it instead of downloading the manifest and then uploading it. So like these are pretty useful features that we have added with the beta 3 and beta 4 update. And in the like in the next update, I can like probably show some of the feature that we are currently working on. So right now, if I like go ahead and show the same experiment. Yeah. So like right now we can see like these experiments are, few of them are in parallel and few of them are in a serial way. So currently we're working on one of the feature called as edit sequence, where we can edit the sequence of our experiments. We can run few experiments in one go, or in a few experiments in serial manner. So let me try to add 4 experiments parallelly, so I can save the changes, and I can see that some changes have been taken place. So I can see like 4 experiments can be scheduled in a parallel way. So like this is the feature we're currently working on, and it should be available by the next release. So I guess that's pretty much it. And Hope you can try the Litmus portal and share your valuable feedback with us. If you have any questions,